welcome. Oops, bumping the table.
Oh, I wasn't on an earthquake.
Yeah, I know, right? Welcome to Truth Behind the Truth, guys.
Yes.
Wonderful Saturday evening to you. Hello, East Coast people, 9 o'clock your time, Central. 8 p.m. and right here on the West Coast, 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Glad to have you guys joining us tonight. You're in for a treat. It's going to be a great show tonight, guys.
Yes.
Great show tonight. We have our wonderful guest, our newfound brother, someone that we're making a lot of things happen with here in LA. Mr. Keith Burke from the Have and Have Nots is with us tonight. We are so excited to have him on the show tonight. Oh man, I can't wait to dig in and talk to him and hear about his story and all those wonderful, great things. We hope everybody had a great week in spite of all of the chaos that's been continuously going on. Okay.
Yes,
with
wear your mask at people.
Yeah, wear your mask.
Like
we said, wear that damn mask. Put that damn mask on. You know, get
and
ready. Go ahead.
I want to say to those who I've been watching on my timeline, early voting, great. I'm looking at you, and let's keep it going, people. Yes.
So we want to welcome all of our YouTube viewers. Why am I getting tongue-tied tonight? YouTube viewers, along with our Facebook family as well. And we're putting out that our soon-to-be Instagram family will be a part of us as well. So really excited about that. And to our UK visitors and all the rest of you that are tuning in around the world. If it's your first time to Truth Behind Truth, welcome. We're glad to have you. Our current members and everyone that loves us out there, make sure that you continue to share, like, and subscribe. Okay, we need you guys being able to do that. Also, remember to go to the Truth Behind the Truth page. Okay, get your Truth Behind the Truth t-shirt. Right. Still available for you. Yes, it is. Just go to the page, scroll down till you see it, click on it to the PayPal section, and you get your t-shirt sent out to you. All right. If you also wanted to go back and look at previous shows, go to the Truth Behind the Truth page, click on the video section, and you have all of our wonderful shows to binge watch. Okay. You know, the binge watch everything else, binge watch on the Truth Behind the Truth as well.
Yes. Follow us.
Subscribe
to us on YouTube too.
Absolutely.
If you cannot find us on YouTube, type in TBTT on the YouTube channel.
Yes. Okay. Let's do that one more time.
TTBTT. We want to thank you guys for that and all your diligent support. Hey, and if you want some money, send some money, yo.
Okay.
Good to see you, brother. If you want to send some money to us, send that email. You click that email button on the Truth Behind Truth page. Hey, we'll take the donation.
Yes,
all right. Anyway, moving on to one other point that I wanted to mention. Oh, yes, about last week's show. Awesome show last week with our friend and part-time co-host, Mr. Harold Fall. He'll be back with us sometime in the near future again, periodically. So Harold, again, if you watched tonight, definitely thank you for being here last week. Why not say all the stuff this week?
Hey, it feels like it was yesterday.
I know, right?
I mean, the days go by so fast. That's one thing about COVID that I realized, being in quarantine or even working, I noticed that the days and the weeks and the months, we're almost down to the nitty gritty. We're almost down to the year of 2020.
That's true. Being gone.
It's going,
being gone.
So, I mean, some things were like they were last night.
I know, right? I wanted to mention again about the Harold and the Juicing Challenge that's going on.
Yeah.
So definitely go to the page about the Juicing Challenge. It's on the Truth Behind the Truth page. You just click there and you go over to it as well. Okay.
Hey,
so
Melissa.
I want to get you part of the Juicing page. And Harold, I see you chiming in. Thanks for tuning in tonight, Harold. If you want to go ahead and on your Facebook section, put your webpage up again, we appreciate it through your comments so that everybody can see it during the course of the night as well. Hey, Melissa, we do love you as well.
Harold, my mom wants your autograph. She doesn't want my autograph. She wants
yours. Don't mind. I don't know why. It's just not like we're the host, you're the co-host. You know what I'm saying? Every night. But anyway, moving on to host chat. Okay. The week. All right. Oh my gosh. We won't spend but a couple minutes, 2-3 minutes on host chat tonight. The week had just been, once again, a roller coaster. That idiot, in the White House.
It wasn't elections year, but this is by far one of the craziest.
Right.
Typical election, untypical.
Right.
Because it's not playing by any rules.
Right.
Everything is up for grabs.
Right.
And you notice one thing I'm starting to pay attention to. They were talking about suburban moms. being another factor to this voting for these two candidates. And they were talking about, and I'm one of those who don't believe in the polls.
Right.
I feel like at the end of the day, get your tail up and go vote.
Right.
Regardless of who is up in the polls and or whatever poll, Fox poll, CNN poll, MSNBC poll, don't study those polls. Get your tail up and go vote.
True.
But they were talking about the fact that suburban moms voting for the two candidates and those moms being the important factor and who is going to win this election. And the fact is, in the last election, Trump got he didn't get a big, he didn't get the biggest vote of the suburban moms, but he got a certain amount of numbers of votes from them.
Right.
Now that I don't know what it is. It's probably Biden giving them that calmness that they need because it's going, Trump has just been going off the rails since the first debate. And now that he has the COVID and whatever they pumping him with, he's just clearly, if you saw that last town hall meeting.
Absolutely.
Ooh.
I mean, he's literally off the chain. I mean,
as a woman, I would have been offended because he was going at that girl like, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he really was. But it just goes to show that this man is just unbalanced. At the end of the day, he really is. So hopefully, I mean, I won't say hopefully, the majority of Americans realize this man is going, not needs to go, but he's gone. Okay, and let's not be delusioned by all these little supporters, these little groups. Because like we always talk about before, he can come to any arena, and necessarily pack it up. That does not mean the just of the country.
Well, he serves their vices. Their vices is hate. Their vices is to divide and to destroy.
Right.
When you have somebody that represents you that likes to divide and spew hatred and spew negativity, and that's your vice, is that what you go, your motto is hate, then that's who you stem to. And a lot of people who are civilized in our country don't need to, let's not go there. They just don't need that, period.
True. I agree.
We don't need that because we're already struggling as it is.
True.
And I'm sorry for those who support Trump.
Look.
Listen. No.
Don't apologize.
Wait a minute. No, okay. I reiterate that.
Okay.
For those who vote for Trump, go vote for him. Right. I'm not telling you who to vote for.
Right.
But I know what I don't need in my life, and I don't need too much hatred.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, we're working Americans.
Right.
We deal with that almost on a constant day-to-day basis. We deal with sensitive matters in a way. Why have that thrown at us, as the law?
Right.
I feel like we have to, make some change in that. And I think Biden is the key. Biden means stability.
Absolutely.
He means stability. And I want that.
I totally agree with you.
But don't vote for Trump if you want to. But
we're pushing Biden on this particular end. But the main thing is that you go ahead and vote, guys.
Yes.
And on all levels, okay. And there's certain ones, Mitch McConnell got to go, Lindsey Graham's got to go, all these other ones got to go. At the end of the day. However, we're not gonna get into this anymore. We're gonna go back and get ready for our commercial break. And bring our wonderful guests on, and then if he wants to continue to talk about some of this stuff, we'll get into it with him. Okay. But guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break. All right. When we come back, we'll have our wonderful guest, Mr. Keith Burke, will be joining us, actor Mr. Keith Burks. Okay.
Keith Burke.
All right. Guys, enjoy the commercial. We'll see you back in just a few minutes.
Bye.
I swear I'm not stalking you.
Why are you here?
Take a guess.
She called you.
She told me to be here at 6 to check the sprinklers.
She is working my nerves now.
And she really is pushing this, isn't she?
Yeah, she is.
I'm sorry.
For what?
Because she's pushing so hard.
Yeah.
I really don't mind.
Derek,
No, Hannah, look, I really like you.
you just met me.
I know that.
Yeah.
Hi, welcome back, guys.
Yes.
Hey, welcome back to Truth Behind the Truth. We're so glad that you tuned in to us tonight. You guys just saw a clip of the wonderful work of our guest tonight, Mr. Keith Burke. We are so excited to have him being a part of everything tonight and taking the time out of his busy schedule as actors do, you know, and then auditioning and getting prepared for that next role and putting the time in and all of that. But I'd like to bring someone now that I can say brother, we can say brother, and to our show tonight with all humbleness. And again, thanking him so much. But we'd like to bring to you, well, one of the stars, okay, and hopefully we're even a bigger role on Tyler Perry's Have and the Have-Nots, doing a super job. You know, I just love watching him, you know, and the work that he's doing. But we want to bring to you guys, and we'll dig into all of his wonderful story and how he is and what he's coming and what he's brought and what he's doing in the industry very shortly. But we want to welcome to the show, Mr. Like I tell everybody, Doctor, whatever the accolade we could throw on him at this particular point in time. We want to welcome you guys to Mr. Keith Burke to Truth Behind the Truth.
Yeah.
Hey guys, how you
Hey,
doing?
good evening.
How you doing?
Good evening.
Yes.
There it is.
Yeah, man, we excited, man. You know what I mean?
Happy to be here.
Yeah,
Happy to be here.
we are so excited that you have taken the time out, your busy schedule, the changes of life, how we live it out here in the West Coast.
Yes.
Oh, brother, let me tell you, it's different.
It
It's real
is.
hard
It
to
is.
go through, you know, an entire summer where you just expect to be outside and enjoying the beaches. And I mean, you could do that all year round, but like in the summertime, you just out and it's just that was all shut down. And
Yes.
now the kids are back in school and you're
Yes.
like, oh my God, you know, this is something. This is
Yeah,
different.
it is. It really is. I mean, you touched on the, you know, and just for our viewers, I said, see, now we got our West Coast brother today. Everybody been on the show, been on the East Coast. But see, we all on the West Coast now. We must go do it right now, you know.
We had to represent every now and again.
Exactly.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
But you brought out an excellent point that, you know, how quarantine basically has been, you know, the thing out here. I know prior to us moving out here, we were here, well, a year ago, we were here in October, okay, looking around, scouting, and seeing how we're going to plan this move and what have you. So the city was thriving at that point. You go up and down Worship Boulevard, everything
Right.
going on, you know, just everywhere.
Traffic was booming too.
Traffic,
Yeah.
Traffic was
Painful, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
It's actually painful. Like you actually feel like you're physically suffering when you're in the traffic out here.
True. You know, I think true. One of the decisions that we made when we moved here was that we were going to try to find an area that we could just avoid traffic as much as possible. So we were fortunate to move downtown. So it was like,
Okay.
So you know, we get there, you go out of the city, and every, you know, in every aspect. So it's not too bad, you know.
Gotcha.
Unless the 101's tied up or you know whatever. But you know, what I'm saying my career as well. But anyway, so yeah, COVID has been definitely taking a thing, you know, on the side here and whatever it did. So, what are your thoughts about that? Do you think that you know we're in a good place and hopefully that the gyms will be, you know, I think back available? But you ain't wasting no time, right? You know, bro. You on Instagram, you on Facebook. You're like, keep getting his own boy. He get the pump on. I'm telling you. But anyway, so how? Go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, I'm listening. You said what was the question? You want to know?
So I guess basically in the quarantine time that we've had. So what did you find yourself doing to keep yourself busy, you know, for the past months and all this type of stuff?
Wow, you know, honestly, it's so crazy because I think everybody's had different levels of quarantine.
Yes.
Like where you were in the beginning, where you were just like real tentative and you didn't know whether you could even leave your house.
Exactly.
So there was that. Then you got to another level where you knew you could, but everything had to be a certain way. So then there was that. And I think like somewhere like after that, we started to kind of settle into the fact that it was kind of crazy, but we found some sort of a system that allowed us to feel some semblance of normalcy. So in doing that, you know, we worked. It's almost like we worked a different part of our existence, our brain, our whole being. We had to kind of be open to it, and by
Yes.
doing so,
Yes. I like that.
I think we gave what all the stress from the one that we had been relying on for so
Yes.
long.
Right.
We gave that one a rest.
Gotcha. I like that. That's a good analogy. I like that. Really good. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I mean,
I mean, that's kind of my experience in it, and I feel like that's how you see so many people coming, you know, with an entrepreneurial spirit.
yes.
So many people are starting to develop their own brands and
Yes.
you know their own shows like yourselves and you know
Yes.
different things like that, because I feel like this has given us a chance to, you know, catch up our breath,
Right.
even though we were worried about losing it, which is the irony. So many
Right.
people kind of caught their breath, got rest they
Right.
didn't even that we would have never taken otherwise.
Right.
And
Exactly.
we were forced to take the time to do something that we had been putting off, to really read something or really try to
Yes.
write something.
Yes.
And it pushed us in that direction to realize, man, like I may not have had the heart to do it 10 years ago, but now I'm ready.
Exactly. Man, so beautifully put. I mean, guys, if you just missed that point that he just put out there, I mean, I think that was so beautifully put. I mean, really, you guys need to go back and listen to that again. It was just so well articulated, and just the vision scope of how it was to what it can be and what it's going to be, what it has become for you. You know, and I like that. You know,
Yeah.
we have said all along that that, you know, going into 2020 in you know the scenario, the cliche 2020 vision, but you just encapsulated 2020 vision of what you just said.
True.
You know, because it's not losing sight of what your goal is, but you have more opportunity and availability to make that goal happen.
Absolutely. Because
You know,
again, you have the mental space.
Yes.
You know, you just have the mental space because you get in this rhythm of your day, weeks and months and years, and
Yes.
things just kind of get added on to that wheel that's already turning.
Right.
And then finally that wheel is forced to stop.
Yes.
Mhm.
Good.
And then you're like, wait a minute, okay, I'm getting, you know, as you started to unravel from that wheel, and when that finally started to just slow down, you could hear everything else that was going on. And you
Man,
go, oh
this is
man,
good.
because you realize you're not at the same spot you were when that wheel first started turning. You
Yes.
just got so used to being on it,
That's
you didn't
true.
check.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
But
So
then,
it
you know,
gave us a chance to check.
yeah, you know, and I think that, and I like I said, and it makes our realities so much more prevalent to us. You know what I mean? Because you know,
Right.
I've had this thing when I first launched my acting career. You know how we put hashtags behind our name and all that type of stuff. But I've always said living my reality. You know what I'm saying? Because people don't live in that moment. You know what I mean? And as corporate actors, you always got to find a way to be able to live in that moment, in that character. That's what makes it authentic. You know, and the work and the investment that you do. But just as a point in real life, living in that moment is so important. Regardless of where you are, if you live in that moment, then you have the ability to release the energy that brings the energy back into you. You know what I mean? And put you, you know, and put you in a more powerful state. You know, and so that's something I'm glad you said it, because it redirected some things in my own head about just how that I perceive life. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or even as I always used to say, most people would say they're pursuing their dream. I've always said I'm living my dream, because my dream is every day that I get up and an opportunity, it expands.
Yes.
But and my surroundings change, but my dream is everything that I'm pushing toward that, because
Your manifestation, your every day is a manifestation of your dreams.
Absolutely. Because right now, this conversation with you, where I live in LA, is all of a dream coming to pass. You know, and it's amazing when you sit in the middle of it and you see it happen. It's like, whoa, this is actually going on. You know, and next thing you know, we may be downtown LA today, but bro, I'll be inviting you out to Brentwood soon, to the house out there in Brentwood. Okay. So we're gonna do that.
And that's exactly how it has to be. I mean, it's that simple to put it out there, because you are willing to do the work that requires. But you have to present something. You know, when people like get ready to build a house, they stake a claim and they let you know that something is about to happen here.
Yes.
You don't just see a finished product. They let you know that something is about. There's going to be some digging. There's going to be some unearthing, and then you're going to start to see framework. And if people really looked at their lives in that way, with that respect, and stop trying to throw up a house in one day, you know, or expecting that they have these. It's not so much that you don't have an opportunity to have great wealth or great success. It's just understanding that there's a foundation that has to be built regardless.
And
regardless of where it starts, it still has to be one. And if you accept that, then you have some semblance of where you are. And I just find that a lot of times, you know, we want you because of what we see on social media and what we see on television and what's pushed at us in terms of what is viewed as success or a successful life. You know, we put these expectations of things, and we miss what power we can actually have when we actually put true wealth into effect, whether that's wealth of knowledge, you know, because we don't have that connection, like with information. We're always getting information last, and we've accepted that way too long. You understand what I'm saying? You know, like when they always doing this, like this diabetes awareness month, and they always do it in the Black community and things like that. Like it's 2020, like that's not supposed to exist anymore. There's there's just too much wealth in our community, in the sense of where that's not I'm not saying that people aren't donating. They are. It's just that you're donating to someone else's idea of how to give you anything. And you always know when it comes from somewhere else, it's going to get filtered down to when it gets to you.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes. Oh, I agree.
Like, so we have this, like, we have to be the source. And I think that that's really ultimately where wealth will come from, when we are the source, because we were the source from the very beginning. Everything came from us, and everything will end with us.
So do you, and I agree with that. That is so. Do you think that and this is something we talk about on the show quite often, is that do you think that our religious institutions have broken that permanent cycle that needs to happen within the ranks of the community, meaning that we've always looked at the preacher up here rather than looking at ourselves up here, being able to rise our families to the occasion in economic wealth, in business planning, in education, and all of the things that go on. And as you speak, and even to the medical side, because, you know, just, and I know I said a lot right there, but just even what you said about the diabetic situation, you know, it is, and I've heard it in families that just because grandma had, as they would say, sugar, I'm gonna have to have sugar. You know what I'm saying? So they accept these generational curses, as you would say, you know, in that. You know what I mean? So would you agree that, I mean, some of our institutions have been really at fault for not allowing the community to rise to a place of prosperity, wealth, and success?
I find that, you know, we can always place blame. But I'm saying we bear the brunt. Like, at some point, you know, those who are in a position have to help the next person. It has to happen.
Yes.
I mean, like, here's what I'm saying. Like, all wealth isn't about writing a check.
Right.
Because it's, you know, respectfully, wholeheartedly, it's easy to write a check.
Right.
When you have it. Right. When you have it. Right. And I'm saying that's great that you even put your heart in the right spaces. All I'm saying is, at the end of the day, as we learn, we have to give back and really pull somebody forward in a way that's going to sustain them. You know, what sustains you is understanding that I've been where you are, understanding that I completely relate to you, whether we have the same ideology, sexual preference, any of that has nothing to do with the being that is trying to move forward through this life. And I'm like, you know, we limit ourselves by allowing other people to press their fears into our culture. That doesn't belong to us. You know what I'm saying? And even if you feel that you don't agree with something, it really doesn't threaten you, you know, because we're all in a situation where we have to vote on things that are for the human health, for the human cause. It has nothing to do with race, color, creed, sexual preference. So if we start with that same mindset that I want to move and make moves based on the human cause, then you understand? Then you just come to a different place from the very beginning.
Yes.
You can't help but just come from a real pure place because you see a human being first.
Yes.
Someone that needs the same things and needs things like you need things. Then you notice whatever else you notice. But regardless, you're dealing with a human being. If you had to be classified before anything else, you're a human being first and foremost.
Man.
So if I can't see you that way first and foremost, then I refuse to see who I am and what I am and acknowledge what I am and where my feelings and things come from.
Exactly.
To our viewers, I want to say to our viewers who are watching, Miss Linda say hey, Miss Melissa say hey, Keith. But
hey, how you doing?
You got some fans out there watching now.
Right.
I have a question. We're talking about giving back. As an actor, who in your field gave back to you the knowledge of how to start your foundation within this art form? Who was it that influenced you, who told you this is how you move in certain situations, circles, or stage? Who was that person who gave you that?
To be honest, it was different people that told me different things. It's like life, like you pick up different things, people will drop different jewels. Like the first person ever really like give me any advice about anything, was when I first came out and I went the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like that was when we first, when I first moved to LA, that was back in like 95.
Okay.
And Uncle Phil, when I always love when they say, first things first, rest in peace, Uncle Phil. Because like, he was like for real, like that was a true line. He really was had that father vibe because James Avery, he just, he just pulled me to the side. My buddy and I came out here and it was like, he just was like, we knew, Will from Philly. Yes. And so he just pulled us to the side and was like, if you serious about what you're doing, he said, if you want to, he said, look, if you're serious about what you're doing, you better be ready to stay 20 years.
Wow.
He said, otherwise, he said, enjoy. He said, just stay out for the summer, have some fun, meet some ladies and go to some parties and whatnot. And then, go back to Philly. He said, because if you want to build a career, if you're really serious about being what you are, what you say you want, if you're not willing to commit the next 20 years of your life to building a career, to working towards that, you're not really serious about this. And I would advise you not to subject yourself to it unless you really, really are serious. And when it just, it's a lot of times it's not about just the information, but who it's coming from. I mean, you're sitting there going, wait a minute. I was just watching you on TV give Will advice. Wait a minute. And now I'm sitting in the dressing room getting real life advice. You giving Keith advice.
Right.
And and it just, it stuck with me. So, a lot of things he told me to do. I'm sorry. There was a whole list of things he told me not to do.
Okay.
I did them all.
Okay.
And let me just say this for the record.
Yes.
He was 110% right.
Wow.
All I had to do was follow the damn rules.
Yes.
See, that's the thing. You can give a person all the information in the world.
Right.
The question is, will they follow your guidance? So will they get into their ego and start feeling like, well, yeah, I hear that, but this is me. I'm really about this. You okay? Right. You do you then. This man is trying to impart and pour into you something to maybe save you some things that maybe he had went through that that you didn't need to know about. Right. He's trying to put you up on game, but you fly. So go ahead with your fly self.
Right. Well, one of the things is that we always tease about on the show is that, and then coming from the Atlanta side, of course, you're working in Atlanta, but you really probably don't get to see a whole lot of the ones that are up and coming. But the major thing, and it's funny, like you said, that they all seem to want to become a star rock.
I can. Yeah.
A Star
Yeah.
Rock. Okay,
Yeah.
and not really investing and in the time and the element, or really willing to dig in and go through, or listening to people that are around them, like you just said.
Right.
One of the things that we're going to jump over to TPS just segments kind of lead into that. One of the two things that remind me, you got one about Tanisha Stewart that was your as well. Two people that have been like major influence. One is one of my dear friends right now, and then the other I did have the opportunity of working with was two very philosophical people. One was Anthony Hopkins.
Oh wow.
And,
Okay.
and the other, of course, is my buddy Danny Glover. Okay, and talking to Danny all the time, and he is just, man, Danny is probably one of the most, as you would say about Uncle Phil. He, to me, and what he has deposited in my life, words can't even express. You know what I mean? Because you keep hearing it echoing and keep hearing it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And I remember when we first met, and I mentioned about Anthony Hopkins, we were getting the TPS. That when we first met, he asked me almost identically the same thing. He said, "What do you want?" You know what I mean? He said, "What do you want?" And I was like, man, it was like, how do you answer that question? You know what I mean? Because you think you know what you want, but when you go to the deep side of that, he said, "What do you really want?" And I said, "Well, man," at that point, I was like, "Mr. Glover," I said, "Man, if I could just get accomplished half of what you did, what you've done, I would be happy, But then we laughed, and I said, "Well, the thing about it is that I cannot live on your coattail, and meaning that, because I said all my life I've been referred to as Mister." And he fell out because all our lives like, you look so much like Danny Glover, blah 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 blah. So we laughed about that. But the long and the short of the story is that he has been so pertinent in my life. So moving forward to Anthony Hopkins, I would have never thought that the time that I had to spend, and sometimes it's just a little short nuggets you spend with people, But he in that time frame, he invested that hour of that I spent with him, just having regular dialogue, and where he was a human being, as you mentioned earlier, how giving as he is a human being, based upon the characters that he's ever played, you would never think that he's this type of man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
He's such a very spiritually, a universally spiritual guy that always wants to keep his humility on the forefront of everything that he does, and just so many pockets that he put in. It's just too much to get into tonight, in terms of what he did. But those are two people that I consider have been really been so influential among the ones that I'm talking to right now. Very influential, Speaking of But anyway, I'm going to transition into TPS, okay, and then which has been all of our hero. At the end of the day, has given us work and given it at given times. I haven't had quite as much success over there as you have, and applause to Tyler Perry for giving you all of that, and seeing your greatness. But one thing he told me, I started working with Tyler as a background actor, and on a couple of shows. I did do some scenes on the Have and Have Nots earlier on,
Okay.
and I had a couple scenes together as a background actor, but it was kind of cute. I got to know the whole cast, and we were cool, from Renee and everybody, Crystal and everything. Got a great story I'll have to say about all that off camera. But anyway, but one of the things I'll say about Tyler real fast is that he told me one thing. He did keep his word, about that. He said, "I love what you look like on camera. Don't push anything. Just let me give you an opportunity." So I kept showing up, doing all of the diligent things, encouraging everybody around the set and stuff. And he gave me an opportunity on Single Moms Club. It was a short little window, but he said, "I'm going to put you into this particular scene," which I ended up being the BMW dealership owner in Single Moms Club that he gave me.
Nice.
Exactly. So what I want to get into is like TPS. So how do you like working at TPS? The introduction to that, and how that flowed with your life.
Okay.
That was a lot to take in.
Yeah, no, right.
Let's see. I loved it. I mean, to be honest, it was my nickname was Wakanda South.
Oh wow, really? Okay.
And that really came from the fact that, just going to work somewhere where this black man had bought something that was formerly used for absolute degradation and torture of our people, and he had turned and now is using it for the very opposite of that, And I'm looking at all these people that look like me in every possible job, that I'm everywhere I see my, my people employed because of this black man. And so to be a part of something that's legacy on, at the end of the day, that created opportunities, and what people do with those opportunities. I mean, they have a start, they have somewhere where they're able to learn, that you're able to, showcase your talent and just be around some of the warmest, some of the most, giving and fun people that I have ever worked with. Let me say that. I can't say enough about how family oriented it felt. In every circle that you would travel in, there was a sense of family within that. And then everybody together, there was always, everybody was just rooting for everybody. And it just, I came in feeling so welcome, and Crystal Fox was just a dream to work with, and so was Angela Robinson. And, I mean, everybody. I truly enjoyed working with, Renee Lawless and my man Tyler Lepley. What I'm saying? Everybody brought what they brought to the situation, but even off camera, they were just as wonderful to be around. And I couldn't have asked for a better situation.
Got you.
Wow.
I mean, and everybody that, because even chatting with Coco, and of course, I'm sure you part of the show with Chandra that was on last week, and she, of course, and her involvement with Tyler has just been amazing, down to the point that she's stuck in there and got her own show now. I mean, come on, So we're ready for the Keith Burke show now.
We are. Yeah.
Hey, listen, anything is possible, and that's another thing that you feel, when you work in an environment where you see your own people thriving on such high levels. Anything for yourself is possible. Don't feel limited, and just keep reaching the same way you see these people continue to climb and ascend into, heights for their own niche in their careers. And I just, I applaud them for their, their hard work and diligence and talent, and, just continue to be inspired to do my own thing and to continue to grow as well.
Absolutely. Let's dig into Derek a little bit. And talk about where
let's see where my mom already put you on Jump Street.
let's see what's up with Derek. We're talking about Derek a little bit. Let's get into see what Derek is going to be doing. I mean, now, okay, a Tuesday night show, man. Look, I would expect Derek to get hit. Okay,
right. Neither was I. But the script said Derek got hit.
Because I was waiting for Derek to come up with some Kung Fu Panda after he got hit. Now, something.
Right. But I mean, in real truth, and here's the truth, and just I would love, first and foremost, we were in a situation where we knew we were going to shoot this scene, but we were going to shoot it Thursday. And so it's like we move at such a fast pace that, like, when you had these scenes, you go, okay, that's that Thursday, that's that big scene. Yes. So like, here it is, it's Tuesday, and you like, all right, I got a couple easy ones, not easy, but they move relatively smoothly, and they're not, going to be this drama. So let me make sure I get these and be focused so that I can get them in your mind out of the way, so that I can focus on Thursday's scene. And then Tuesday you find out, oh, I want to shoot it right now.
Yeah.
All right.
Mr. Perry,
so all that prep work that you thought you was gonna do. Yo, dig this. So we do this, and Ty Lep and I, and definitely much respect to the brother. We in the car, like, learning this scene, like getting it going back and forth for 10 minutes. And then just jumping out and knocking it out in one take. And that's what you saw.
Oh, that's good.
Wow.
We had 10 minutes to go over that scene in the car while the crew was waiting. It was like 90 degrees in Atlanta in the summertime in July. It was sweltering. So when they decided they wanted to shoot it, we was like, all right, we got to get it. We had already had the script, so we looked it over, but it's not like we had, like I said, when you're doing a big scene, you usually want to say, okay, I'm going to prep. In my mind, I'm going to prep, make sure I'm on point.
Exactly.
But what was really cool about that? I think sometimes, I think he just be playing games like, I know what's going to get the best out of this situation.
Right.
He want to do all this preparation. Now I'm going to make him do it and force him to live truthfully, and I'm going to get what I need. Like, that's just kind of how stuff goes sometimes too. You know what I mean? And I tripped, like, cause like, honestly, when I watched it, a lot of those moments I saw, that really came so organically because we were forced to not have, in that situation, I'm saying.
Yes.
So, it kind of worked. And maybe it was, sometimes people just, directors go off of instinct. They go off of what they're feeling.
Well, and watching him work, on several occasions, that he definitely does that. One quick scene I wanted to bring up. I was on set. This has been, I don't know, 4 years ago at this point, when actually Gavin's character, of course, and Angela's character, and what's his name's character. This is when Gavin actually was coming out to his parents for the very first time, that particular episode. But I remember Crystal and I, and who was it? Renee and I, and then Coco and I. We were all watching it as they were shooting that scene. But when you speak of organic moments and how Tyler works with that, well, what he did with them is that they weren't going to shoot that scene that particular day, but as he decides to change it and make it happen, it makes it happen, right? But he had all of them go to a corner in that particular scene and just think about nothing. Okay, he said, I want you to empty yourself completely and then be vulnerable when you hear the line.
Exactly.
So
right.
And it was so amazing, but then they came together. They did like 4 takes, but the 4th take is when he had to do that. And Gavin, I was so amazed
because 4 takes.
Well, the reason why is because he wanted Gavin to be really authentic. He said, "You're not giving me that authenticity." So
no, I was just saying that had to be. Was that at the new studio or the old studio?
That's the old studio.
Okay, because now I know they shoot from all angles, so we do 1 take every single. So like every scene, 1 take.
Okay, wow.
So every scene I've ever shot, I've only did 1 take.
Because he's got the camera angle hitting everybody's close-ups and everything at the same time.
All at once.
That's a master of that, because when you own your cameras, you can do what you want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But what he did in that particular moment is that that Gavin's authenticity for the true authentic tears that he drove when he was having that line, he had the whole crew crying. We were like, because Crystal and I were standing up to the back, and Crystal said, no, Coco said it, we were all standing around hugging each other. And she's like, that's some damn good acting right there. We are all weeping because it was just such a very powerful moment and contributed to how Tyler pulled it together, in the process.
Yeah.
I'm getting off and all that, but so where is Derek going next? If you can reveal that, is I can't take too much.
I have no idea. Your guess. Your guess is as good as mine. I'm just here, like, hey, just enjoying the fact that. This was like the craziest little roller coaster ride. I had, way more than what I had imagined, because like I said, I was contracted initially to do 12 episodes.
Yes.
And I ended up with 49, I believe.
Yeah. That just goes to you just brought up. That's just amazing, man. You got that greatness of that character. Yes. That is so awesome.
I mean, it was just such a huge blessing, and I was so grateful to have had that opportunity. I mean, it was just like such a cool experience to, work with people. Peter Peros was, like very cool brother, very, great guy to hang out with and have an opportunity to get to know as well. Just everybody really, honestly. I mean, Christian Cordula and Gavin and I mean all of these people just separately, they were just all really, really great people. Brett, like you name it, I could just go down the list and they were just all such nice people as individuals. So it was really, really cool environment to be in.
exactly. You know, we're going to take a commercial break real quick, but when we come back out of that commercial, we have a clip of you and Angela working together, and we want to talk about that clip and just how it was in that particular moment, and where Derek was going with this. All right, we'll just get after the commercial real quick. All right, guys, we'll be right back with you with Mr. Keith Burke. We are enjoying this talk tonight. It's been very powerful. But guys, we'll be back with more Mr. Keith Burke in just a moment.
Why don't you just leave me alone, okay? I'm living a clean, honest life.
I don't give a damn.
You should.
You owe me. And I always collect.
How much is enough?
When I decide.
Okay. Well, let me tell you this. You know what I was in for?
Are you threatening me?
If you ever call me again and ask me to go back to what I was doing 15 years ago, yes, I am threatening you.
So scared.
Wow.
Loved it, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Oh, boy. See that?
Who is that guy there? Who's Derek right there? What?
Hey, he's been through a few things. And that's the whole thing that people got to understand in that situation. It's like, it was like, oh, I can't believe you let, Derek let him do that. First of all, let's just get with the fact that he had to face the fact that he had sexually assaulted his guy's mom.
Yes. Okay.
Like, wait a minute. I'm sorry. So now I'm gonna beat her son up too?
Okay.
Like, I mean, in fairness, you only want to be taken so far, even when you're trying to do the right thing.
Right.
And in truth of that situation, if you're the type of person that's been in a fight and have been hit, you understand that even if you understand that you don't want to fight somebody, you still don't want to be hit either.
Exactly.
So you're torn between the fact that I'm gonna let this person hurt me on purpose,
right?
But at the same time, I can't hurt this person because I've already done a certain amount of damage.
Exactly.
But as an actor, in those moments, in those scenes, before you actually shoot the shot, where do you have to go mentally? Because as an actor, we have to be vulnerable. We have to put all our judgments to the side when it comes down to the character that we do play or we do portray. Where do you go? Do you meditate? Do you pray? Is there some type of situation that you have to go into to say, this is who I am? I am Derek. I have to do this in order to get the character across, you know?
Well, I think, you know, it's really about understanding what it's like to want to be understood, want to be heard.
Good.
If you understand how important just truly being heard and having that opportunity to possibly right or wrong based on really true understanding and possible humanity based on any type of anything. Like if you could say to someone, hey, look, I understand that after I say this, you may not feel any different. But if you would just allow me to explain where I was, perhaps it'll give you some peace, which would in turn give me some peace. Gotcha. We can get to the violence later. But would you allow me to explain where I was? Perhaps we may not end up in that same violent place. But if we do, at least I tried to at least say my piece, you know. And I think that,
wow.
You know, even when they executing someone, they always ask them if they have any last words.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's just like you're asking for some humanity in one of the most, because you don't know the outcome. I don't know what he's going to do to me.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a punch is where things start, but that's not always where they end. So, you know, you only know the severe violence that you may have experienced in prison. So you don't know where he's really willing to take it. But you know that if you even get pulled into it, the outcome could be the opposite of what you want, which is you can't hurt this woman's son and tell her that you're sorry for what you've already done to her. That's crazy in any language to me. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So you torn with your natural instincts to protect yourself, to be who you are, and the absolute frightening prospect that you got to allow that to be broken in a sense.
Got you. You know? And again, you know, and enjoying where your authenticity and where you're going with that character, you know, I mean, as a viewer, you know, you're mastering in the fact that we're feeling for you, which the interpretation of the script is actually we're actually feeling for you, even though you have quote unquote done this horrendous thing. You know what I'm saying? So kudos to you to even interpret the script to the fact that, you know, the audience is feeling sorry for Derek, even though, you know, they look at you as this heinous person, you know, because of what you know. But the beauty of it is like, man, I feel sorry for Derek, man. You know, it's like, you know, let me
honestly, when I first understood that, you know, because I learned right early on that this is what he had done, and I mean, you know, this is who he was. This is what he was being accused of, and this is supposedly what he had done. They never said that he did it.
Okay,
they never said that. They just said this is what he was accused of doing, and this is what he was told. And so in my head, I thought to myself, okay, think about like not knowing if you did something, but pretty much assuming that you probably did, because that's just how you saw yourself, and knowing that based on what your behavior was at that time, and that burden of that, right?
Yes.
And understanding that when you overcome something or a part of yourself, you want to look back and be able to give back in that way. Yes. And so I always felt like, what could I say with this character? And what it was important for me to say was everybody deserves a second chance.
Yes. Okay.
You know, everybody deserves an opportunity to move forward. But at the same time, we still are a victim of our choices. So
yes.
I can't at the same time fault Benny for wanting to harm me, because I know how I feel about my mom and how I would respond to a man.
Right.
I would be hurt, and I'd be so torn, but I'd be more hurt for what my mother had to endure, you know, in that circumstance. So humiliating this man and belittling this and taking his power would have been my first top priority as an actor.
Okay.
You know, so I understood that that's what had to happen to me.
Okay.
He had to strip me of that power in order to feel like he had somehow had some redemption for what his mother had went through in that moment.
Wow. Did you, in the audition process, did you have a full scope of what Derek was about during that, or that came
Nothing.
later?
Nothing.
Okay. All right.
Nothing.
Okay. So you had really and did you audition with Raven?
What happened was I auditioned, and when I with Kim Coleman.
Okay.
And then that afternoon that evening they called my agent and said they wanted me to come back the next day because Crystal Fox was in town doing something for OWN, and they would do a chemistry read.
Right, exactly. Okay.
So I came up there, and there were some other guys there as well. And so, you know, it was like 3 or 4 of us total. And you know, I'm so, you know, honored and grateful that it worked out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
For sure.
That's awesome. I mean, it really is. I mean, and kudos to them and in terms of to what you are doing with that particular character. And again, we want to see Derek have his own show. Okay.
Hey, brother, from your lips to God's ears. I mean, I feel that, you know, for me as an artist, I never had a choice. Like, this is truly an outlet that is just so fulfilling in terms of being able to feel like I have a voice on this planet.
Yes.
But you know, besides through my children and you know what I try to impart, at least attempt to impart into them. But respectfully, this as a man, like, this is legacy wise. It's like, if I could just leave characters that people saw some humanity in, that felt something that they'll never forget, then, you know, it was then I did myself you know what I expect of myself, and I'm grateful, you know, but it's each opportunity is such a huge blessing.
Yes.
That I focus more on developing the artist, and less you know, and not always be so crazed about, okay, what's next? When am I working? I mean, you want to work as an artist, you want to challenge yourself, and you just want to keep doing what you love.
Yes.
But there's a patience that has to come with it as well.
That's
you know,
true.
and understanding that, you know, just be ready. Always be prepared, be in a position where you can take advantage of an opportunity to the greatest of your ability. And that's all you can ask of yourself
that is
at
so
the end of the day.
That is so true.
And be grateful.
Was acting always your first choice or first, you know, was it the first thing that you...
No. I wanted to be in the NFL.
Really?
Yeah. Man.
Okay.
I told my mom, I never forget this. I had a football helmet from the time I was 3 years old. I was very serious about being a football player. And so I remember I was probably about 9 years old. That was around the time when I was ready to join Pop Warner. And I was like, yeah, Mom, you know, she's signing me up for Pop Warner. And I'm like, I'm gonna be in the NFL. She was like, you're gonna be an actor. And that's exactly what she said. And she said it so matter-of-factly, but my mom was like that. Like, when she say something about something you're gonna do, like, you're probably gonna do it. But I didn't know that because I was 9. So like, I can look back on when she's made a prediction, and she's pretty much 99 point, you know, she's always hitting it out the park. So but I remember her planting that seed, and me thinking, you know, because I would do like these little church plays and stuff like that. And I had this like ability to memorize my lines and everybody else's lines. Right.
Okay.
And so she thought, well, that, you know, he could be an actor. And I'm like, we live in Philly. Like, how does that work? Where do we do this at? This acting stuff, you know? And so because I didn't really see it around me, but there was this huge theater community, which I later found, you know, as I got a little older. But she told me this, but I focused strictly on athletics and sports, running track, you know, playing football. But, you know, I started becoming way more drawn to acting around, you know, college. And that's when I started thinking, you know, when I was going through from maybe 19 all the way into my 20s, that's when I started thinking about it more. I started wanting to to get more involved and to not, because I think there was that fear like that's just too big to dream.
Yes.
But I think what really made it click for me, and this is ironic, but when I saw Will Smith come out with his own show, I
Yes.
thought to myself, if this brother can go from not only Philly to the radio stations, but to
Yes.
Hollywood, then why limit what possibilities could be out there for myself? I mean,
Yes.
that's why people they have to understand it's so important that people see it.
Yes.
When they
Yes.
see somebody that's from where they're from, not just somebody that look like them, but somebody that is from where they're
Where
from.
they from? Okay.
Who knew that when I first saw him on that show, that one day that he would provide an opportunity for me to even move to LA without him even doing it. And
Yes.
just based on a friend of mine that was working for him, that I was
Mhm.
able to use as a contact. And because Will and I's paths had crossed quite a few times,
Yes.
he remembered me enough to be as open to allow me to come up to NBC. And, that's why I said sit around and watch how they did things on the set. And that's how I had a chance to speak with James Avery. And, that's how I ended up in, like 2 of the episodes. So it's like, they really reached back and brought someone forward.
Beautiful.
And so you learn through, but what they teach you is we only gonna give you what you can handle.
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. Okay, absolutely.
And so whatever you're willing to work for and however far you want to go, that's on you.
Yes.
If you, but you dictate. All we can do is provide an opportunity. What you do with it, we give you the seed. How you sow,
Right.
that's on you. And so, kudos to them for even, being open and doing that as well. I believe in giving credit where credit is due, because so many people don't. They don't. And I think you should,
Yeah, absolutely right.
I think that I really do. And I think, that's one of the things that I think, I'm just another person that Will Smith has looked out for, directly or indirectly, in the sense of providing that opportunity through his friends.
That's powerful. That and anybody listening tonight, guys, I mean, just hearing this wisdom that's coming from him, it gives you as an actor or director or producer, whatever, to dig your heels in. You know what I'm saying? And put that goal out there. Don't expect it to happen overnight. You got to sow some seeds. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you do, but it's a cool experience if you allow it to be. If you understand the process that you're at, and you're pushing yourself, and you're really taking what you want seriously, what you want to happen, and respectfully understanding that it is a process.
Yes.
And being kind enough to yourself to allow yourself to continue to grow.
Right.
Is important. It's not all about beating yourself down and whipping yourself into shape. You know what I mean? You don't have to put yourself through the Joe Jackson school of, acting. Like, and that's with respect to like what he created was pure greatness, right?
Exactly.
But that's his method. Like, that's not for everybody.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, one thing don't work for everyone. And what does work for everyone is just having a level of compassion for yourself, having a level of love for yourself, so that you understand where you are, check in with yourself. Mental health is such a big thing. And I think that that's another reason why, being involved with acting has been such a blessing, because it allows you to deal with aspects of life that can heal parts of your own experience. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's a real cool vibe to have. I'm grateful.
That's good. Well, God, I hate to bring this to an end. I mean, this has just been so. And as we talked on the phone, I said this. I knew it was going to be very organic, in our conversation tonight. I so appreciate it. If you'd leave a thought with the rest of the actors, or even our general audience, I mean, coming from the heart of Keith, and and letting that resonate and marrying people. We'll close out with with your moments in that, if you don't mind.
Sure. I mean, I think first and foremost, understand that, everything that we want to put out there comes from a real pure place. And I think that we have to first respect the fact that there's nothing wrong with that. You can protect yourself,
yes,
but still be genuine, still come from a genuine space, because like I said before, we're anything, we're human beings first.
Yes.
And I think that we have to treat each other with that level of humanity,
yes,
and give each other an opportunity to show you who we are before we move in any one direction.
Exactly.
And also be inspired. Like, just know that there is no time limit. Every day that you get up and you have an opportunity to draw breath is another day for you to take that first step or that next step.
That's
You
true.
know, and if no one has told you, I'm in your corner simply
Yeah.
because you thought about it and you're really, really serious about taking that step. Just
Thank
know I'm cheering you on, whether I know your name or not. I'm
Yes.
cheering you on because your energy and that positive step that vibrates throughout the universe, and I'm gonna catch some of it. So I'm gonna thank you in advance.
Man, wow. Woo! That is so good. That echoes, what our motto of the show is about. We get very organic. We talk about a numerous amount of subjects on this particular show. But at the heart of our show is that we have three principles. And that's number one, love your creator, love yourself, and then love humanity.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And if you exhibit that, all of the things that we talked about tonight come to you, that great energy and all of the type of things. You meet blessed people, brother, it has been a true blessing.
But the backdrop is always authenticity.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Itself. We so appreciate you coming on tonight.
Yeah.
And look,
Hey, thanks for having me.
Off camera, we're gonna have to go out and get some wine, sit down and continue that vibe off camera. So I'll be reaching out to you what your schedule is like right here in the city. We'll get together and hang out a little bit when we get a chance.
Yeah.
All right, my brother. Y'all be safe in this crazy COVID existence and stay healthy and continue to stay prosperous. And I look forward to watching this continue to grow and flourish. And I wish you nothing but, just continued blessings in your entire life and careers.
Thank you. We'll definitely have you back on here, man. I'm telling you, look, you'll be here from me. We get back on the show because we're gonna keep this vibe going. Loved it, really loved it tonight, man. Definitely.
All right, my brothers.
You have a blessed night. Thanks for being here, my brother. Guys, want to again give our heartfelt and they say they gave you the Wakanda in Atlanta, so we'll give you the Wakanda in LA. Okay.
All right, brother.
But guys, thanks for tuning in tonight and our wonderful guest, Mr. Keith Burke from the Have and the Have-Nots. We have just thoroughly enjoyed him tonight. And again, as we said, we will have him back on the show once again. Guys, if you missed any part of the show, I want to encourage you to definitely go back and view the show again. There were some very, very gold nuggets that happened tonight on the show. It was just simply awesome.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it was worth listening to and worth hearing. I say Eric Nugget, he spoke was worth, and it felt like, to me, it felt like one of those things, those messages now that we need as actors, as human beings that are now going through this COVID situation. We need to take stock and evaluation of our lives. Either if you're not an actor, you should do that regardless.
Absolutely.
So, I think him for bringing that message, because that message is mostly needed.
So resonating. Guys, thank you again for tuning in tonight. Make sure you go to the Truth Behind the Truth page. Get your t-shirt. Get your t-shirt. Okay.
And one thing I want to say to those who have watched the show, Eric Brown,
great job.
Hey, thank you, Melissa, my mom, everybody. Just keep subscribing, keep watching, keep supporting. We're going to bring you more great content, and just keep giving love and authenticity and spreading the word. That Truth Behind the Truth is up, it's going, and it's moving, and it is a movement.
It's a movement.
Yes,
it is.
So.
But guys, thank you to our YouTube family. Thank you again for tuning in tonight. Facebook family, we love you. As we put out the soon to be our Instagram family, that will be out there as well. And moving on, we got some other places we're gonna start popping up too. We're looking at something. We may even be on Roku soon, guys. So we're looking into that. Truth Behind Truth. UK family, we love you for tuning in tonight as well. If you have not subscribed on our YouTube page, please go to it. Please share it out there to all of your friends, as well. Share it to all of your friends as well. We got other who got that.
Matt Cute. If I'm pronouncing this wrong, please, I apologize. Matt Cute. Okay, thank you.
Thank you for
great
tuning
message
in.
and inspiring.
Thank you. We really appreciate you tuning in for that. We love that. You guys are awesome. All right, you guys are awesome. We send lots of love to you. We'll see you again next week with our guest. Oh my gosh, my buddy for a long time. We call him my little brother. All right, Mr. Ron Rico Lee. Oh my gosh, I'm just super excited again. Knowing all these wonderful people being a part of the Actors Symposium, it's just been so great. Ron Rico and I go really way, way, way back. I've known Ron Rico since he was Not well, anyway.
I don't know him, but I have been watching him for a very long time.
Yes,
So
yes.
you know.
So we're excited to be able to have Rodrigo coming on as well.
Yeah.
Just to listen to a few more. We've got Mr. Ken of Israel will be coming on, as well. Mr. Captain Savage recently had been seen in Lovecraft. Oh my God, that show is just incredible, guys. All right.
Yes.
So we've got, that's just to name a few. Miss Tara Jones will be coming on as well. More locally known through the Atlanta market, but she's done a lot of TV and film as well. So, and commercials and things. So we've got a lot of wonderful actors that will be part of the symposium. Then to the big Zoom that we have in December, you guys are in for a treat. All right, guys, we're not going to take up any time. We're way over our time. But anyway, it has been a great show. It's been worth the time involved. Yeah. Y'all have an awesome night. We'll see you next week on what? The Truth Behind the Truth. Good night, y'all.
Bye.